New York City swallowed a man whole in 1930. Nobody ever saw him again. It wasn't a back alley disappearance or a shadowy figure slipping into the night. This was a Supreme Court justice, a prominent figure in the city's legal landscape, who simply walked out of a restaurant and vanished. The case of Judge Joseph Force Crater remains one of America's most baffling missing persons investigations. On the evening of August 6, 1930, Judge Crater dined with friends in Midtown Manhattan. He paid his bill, said goodnight, and stepped out onto the bustling streets. That was the last confirmed sighting. He was 41 years old at the height of his career with a seemingly stable life. Or was it? The initial reaction wasn't alarm. Crater's wife was out of town, and he often worked late or stayed with friends. It was only when he failed to appear for court on August 25th that genuine concern began to mount. A Supreme Court justice doesn't just miss court. The investigation that followed would expose a tangled web of potential motives: gambling debts, extramarital affairs, and whispers of political corruption. New York City, in the throes of the Great Depression, was a cauldron of illicit activity, and Judge Crater, it seemed, had his fingers in more pies than just justice. Let's rewind a bit. Joseph Force Crater was born in Easton, Pennsylvania in 1889. He was a bright, ambitious man, graduating from Lafayette College and then Columbia Law School. He quickly climbed the legal ladder, becoming a respected attorney before his appointment to the Supreme Court of New York in April 1930. His rapid ascent, however, was not without controversy. There were rumors of political patronage, whispers that his appointment was a reward for favors rendered. New York politics in the 1920s and 30s were notoriously corrupt, and Crater was deeply enmeshed in the Tammany Hall machine. Just days before his disappearance, Crater made some peculiar moves. He emptied his safe deposit box, withdrawing a substantial sum of money. He also spent an entire day meticulously going through files in his office, seemingly destroying or removing documents. What was he trying to hide, or perhaps to protect? His secretary later testified that Crater instructed her to take a substantial sum of cash and place it in a locked briefcase. He left his office with this briefcase, and another, smaller one. These cases and their contents have never been recovered. The night of his vanishing, Crater dined at Billy Hawes's Choff House on West 45th Street. His companions were a lawyer named William Payne and a showgirl, Sally Ritz. The details of their conversation remain largely unknown, but they finished their meal around 9:30 p.m. Crater left the restaurant alone. He hailed a taxi, or so it's believed, and was last seen heading towards Fifth Avenue. The bustling theater district, full of life and light, swallowed him whole. No witnesses came forward who saw him after that moment. When the official investigation finally began, it was plagued by delays and missteps. Crucial early leads were lost, and the public's perception was that the police weren't taking the disappearance of a prominent judge seriously enough. Was it incompetence, or something more sinister? One theory suggests Crater was murdered over his involvement in illegal gambling operations. He reportedly owed significant sums to powerful figures. Did he try to run, or was he silenced before he could expose a larger criminal enterprise? Another prominent theory points to his alleged affairs. Crater was known to be a ladies' man, and some believed he ran off with a mistress. However, no evidence ever surfaced of him living a new life, nor did any woman ever come forward. The most sensational theory, however, revolved around political corruption. Crater was deeply involved with Tammany Hall, and at the time, investigations into the organization's illicit dealings were gaining traction. Was Crater about to testify, or was he a threat that needed to be eliminated? In 1939, a woman named Stella Ferrucci claimed she saw Crater's body being carried out of a Bronx apartment building on the night of his disappearance. She described him as stiff as a board. Her testimony, however, was never fully corroborated and was eventually dismissed. Decades later, in 1969, a deathbed confession from a man named Abraham Carpin, allegedly a hitman, surfaced. He claimed Crater was murdered and buried under the Kenai Island boardwalk. Police searched but found nothing. The lead went cold like so many others. The case officially closed in 1979, nearly 50 years after Crater vanished. He was declared legally dead. Yet the questions persist. The official closure brought no answers, no body, and no sense of resolution for a city that still remembers the vanished judge. Imagine a city, a constant low thrum of secrets just at the edge of hearing. But only *U* can hear it. Judge Crater became a symbol of this unspoken underbelly, a testament to the fact that even in plain sight, people can disappear without a trace. The mystery endures, a ghostly echo in the canyons of Manhattan. Was it a planned escape, a tragic accident, or a cold-blooded murder orchestrated by those in power? The truth, it seems, is still buried somewhere in the past, lost to the relentless march of time. Judge Crater's disappearance serves as a stark reminder of how easily life can unravel, how quickly a public figure can become a forgotten footnote, and how some secrets are so deeply intertwined with a city's fabric that they may never truly be unraveled. We may never know what truly happened to Judge Joseph Force Crater, but the questions his vanishing left behind continue to captivate, drawing us into the shadowy corners of a bygone era and the enduring enigma of a city that held its secrets close. What other historical mysteries from the concrete jungle do you think deserve a deeper look?